Alright, this is going to be the start of the review for Off, playing Andromena. First we'll start off with your starting items. I know you'd risked me at the beginning of the game about whether or not you thought duck boots were a good idea. Personally, I dislike this item choice. You're going to be laning solo against two players, probably either Kronos or Swiftblade, and they're going to have a hatchet. It doesn't matter if you buy 4 duck boots at the beginning of the game, you're not going to be able to out-CS a Kronos with a hatchet. So you're really sacrificing what could be survivability for a little bit of damage, which really isn't worth it. You did get 1 ward, which I do personally agree with. You're kind of the only support on the team, and unfortunately you had to solo. So putting that ward for your Master of Arms to get runes is extremely important. Without a ward, he's going to lose the Soul Stealer, and with a ward he can win. Other than that, I maybe would have suggested going for an early Grave Locket, so maybe the Pretender's Crown towards the Null Talisman, and moving on from there. Here your job in this lane is to just survive, rather than try and go for CS, because the Plague Rider should really be pushing you out of XP range, and Kronos getting free farm. It's not good. But if you can survive and get solo XP without dying and sneaking in a creep kill here and there, you've pretty much done your job. The second thing I want to comment on is your skill build. You chose to go Dimension Link first. I assume this is to help you get creep kills. If you look here, you can't really get close enough to the creeps because you know Plague Rider's just going to harass you. He has longer range, and eventually will have his slow. And you can see Kronos is just getting all the creeps anyway, not much you need to deny him. I would always get Comet first or Stun on Andromena. It allows you to do the most at level 1, and it is one of the best level 1 stuns in the game. Using its max duration is still a decent amount of damage with low mana cost. At level 3 here, I believe you decide to level Dimension Link. My personal recommendation is to level Aurora and keep 1 level of Comet. It's the maximum damage, especially with your team who does a ton of physical damage. The negative armor will actually help more than the aura will, leveling that up. Alright, here I decided to take a look at the replay, because you choose to finally place your ward 3 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. It is a little dependent on when Master of Arms gets his bottle. Looks like he still doesn't have it here at almost 4 minutes. So it's not that big of a deal, but I would try to place the ward by the 2-minute mark, so Master of Arms has sight on the first rune. Especially against a hero like Soul Stealer, it's really important, because without runes, Soul Stealer is extremely weak. The second thing is, I thought it was a really good decision that you made. When your lane was pushed up, you knew it wasn't safe, and you decided to go do the ward then. So I thought that was pretty good decision making on your part. Alright, here we're going to take a look at the first gank you're involved with. Warbeast picks up a haste. Hellborn does see it, using their ward over here. But we'll see how this plays out. You get your stun off before Plague gets any kind of nuke, which is a really good job, but then you start auto-attacking him, and he gets a nuke off, and Kronos eventually takes you down. What I might have suggested doing was maybe just stunning him and letting Warbeast with haste kill the Plague Rider, because the Plague Rider's not going to be able to stop the Warbeast. And maybe you also live from Kronos. But on the other side, I do think that was a very good gank. You got your Warbeast, your jungle carry 2 kills, only at the sacrifice of your support, and got experience in 1 of the kills. So generally that was a pretty well executed gank. Good job. Alright, you just now ganked Soul Stealer middle. After dying, you teleported middle to gank him with Rampage and Master of Arms. That was a good gank. Soul Stealer is a squishy hero, and Andromena is a great roamer. We're going to want you move towards the bottom lane now with Rampage. A little bit low on mana, but still got enough to stun. You guys go on Plague Rider. Kronos gets off his ulti. It's pretty bad. Plague Rider dies. You didn't stun. It was a really good idea. Saved it for Kronos. He makes a really bad leap. And you guys are able to chase him to the tower and kill him. It was a really good job. Andromena's a great roaming hero, and you really took advantage of her skill set. Here is right about the 11-minute mark. A little bit of a questionable swap there. Plague Rider is in range of a stun and an auto attack. Probably better to save the swap until they're at a farther away range. You know, maybe Kronos leaps and then you swap him. Since swap does have a longer range than the stun generally. That's the only difference. I mean, it was a good kill on Plague Rider. Utilize your teammates to get another kill. That's good. Just when you're in range for the stun, try and use it over your ultimate in most situations. Here we're going to look at a clip where you and Rampage come up to gank Swiftblade. Now here, you should have a little bit better map awareness and notice that 3 players other than Rampage are missing on the map. Both of you end up chasing a little too far. Kronos gets a great ultimate. You guys get taken down pretty low. Now here, Soul Stealer is chasing you. Your stun's on cooldown. He just uses close range nuke to kill you. Or, well, to nuke you down. Next, you'll see he uses mid-range nuke. Now he's only got 1 nuke left, the long-range nuke. Got 2 seconds on your stun, but your swap is up. Now I'm not sure if you can actually see Brown coming up here, Plague Rider. If you can, then that makes this even a better decision to swap the Soul Stealer, switching your position, and kind of confusing him where you're going. He has to retarget you, line up his raise again, and if you switch directions, you're pretty much already out of range. Instead, you'll see run in a straight line, Soul Stealer hits the raise on you, and you go down. Sometimes just gotta use your abilities if you're gonna die. You know, swap can really make some big plays when you're not looking for it. And looks like this is the end of the game. Just gonna give you a little bit of an overview here. I think generally you did a really good job this game utilizing Andromena's role and what she does well, which is ganking. I think you should take a different skill build and possibly a different starting item build into consideration. Maybe you want to look at the lanes that they're probably going to have set up when you start the game and kind of adjust around that. If you know you're not going to be able to last 8 creeps, and you're going to be soloing 2v1, I would probably go for more survivability. The second thing is, if you're the only support on the team, you need to be getting a little bit more wards. You generally had a ward up on the rune most of the game, but there were some times where your team had no wards. And no wards is usually something you want to try and stray away from. You had pretty good swaps in team fights. There was once where you saved War Beast, you did a really good job. You got Aurora on the enemy team, you got a lot of physical damage. So, all in all, you did pretty well. I would also work a little bit on map awareness, but good job.
Perfect color me. Extreme ways that help me out late at night. Extreme places I had gone, but never seen